Hey everyone, this is Rob.
Hey, Michelle.
And welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast on everything you need to know about old school RuneScape.
Meet Merp.
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 Alright, so this week up on the docket, of course, as always, we're going to be starting off with what we have been up to this week or any community highlights.
Yep.
And then we'll be going right into Araxxor. I mean, really, there's not a lot to go over this week.
Well, some Pull 82 as well.
Yeah, but
mostly Araxxor is what we care about.
For the most part, it's really just feedback and updates and stuff like that. I was talking about Araxxor. There was some interesting, honestly, probably more interesting stuff that happened in the community this week than Araxxor itself. So we'll also be touching on that. And then we have, honestly, I think that's mostly it.
Yeah, then Q&A.
Yeah.
Unless there's something else tomorrow, which maybe?
Yeah, there might be, but I honestly doubt it. I feel like this is kind of like a slow time for them, like building
because
up to
the summer
something.
summit's this weekend.
Yeah, so there's honestly probably not going to be a ton this week, and so we'll be covering a lot more community stuff to make up for that as well. If you want to be highlighted, whether you did something cool in the game, let us know, and I'll be more than happy to highlight you. Unless you, I don't know, maybe if your achievement is like if your achievement's like killing a cow, then I might not include you. But
you know what? If you asked us to shout you out for killing a cow, I would do it.
Yeah, maybe this week because it's probably slower. But
yeah, if it's a slow week, why not?
Beyond that, though, we also are going to have a Q&A at the end, and if you want to, feel free to join the Q&A by asking us any questions about this game, other games, or real life. Go to our discord.gg/Bunebape. We do have a question section. Ask away in there, or really anywhere else. Just make sure to tell us that you want to include it in the podcast, whether that's any of our socials or anything like that.
Yep. Otherwise, we'll just assume you're just asking for fun.
Yeah, exactly. But before we get into all that really cool stuff, Michelle, how's it going?
It's going well. I finally got to try Araxxor. I think I have like 50 KC so far, but I got the head at how many KC? I like 13 KC, I think.
Which is for the Slayer helmet.
Yeah, the Slayer helmet. It's like 1 out of 270. Nope, I'm making that up. Actually, I think it's 1 out of 200 and something. But I got it at 13, and then I actually got a second head last night. I just can't stop getting head. You know how it is. And then I also got, I did not get the pet, but I got the pet transmog for meeting the time, so that's cool. And I really want the pet now because I want the little baby spider. He's so cute.
Nice.
But yeah, I heard people saying like that the time was crazy and stuff. To be fair, I have a scythe, but I didn't need like Torfa to get it. And I did it before the slight update this week, which we'll go over.
You're like, oh, I only needed, what is it, one and a half?
Like a 1.4 bill weapon.
Yeah, I was like, I only need 1.5 bill worth of it. 1.5 bill worth of
equipment. And Robert unfortunately died.
Yeah.
But I thought that it would be like a lot harder. I thought it would take me a few hundred KC to get the scythe, the way people were talking about it. But it did get changed a little bit, so we'll discuss that later. But Araxxor is actually really fun.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's actually pretty chill because it uses just enough brain power to be interesting, but not too much that you're like, oh my god, this sucks.
And it's funny because you saying that, honestly, that's how I feel about Vorkath.
Yeah. I saw people saying that it was like kind of like Vorkath and one other boss, I don't remember. Maybe Hydra, because you like the counting.
Hydra? Yeah, I think Hydra you count to, is it 5 or 3? Forgot what it was.
I can't remember. It's been so long. But yeah, it gives some Vorkath vibes, especially with like the poison on the ground and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that you would actually maybe like it. Maybe you could try my account sometime.
I'm good.
You know what I'm afraid of though is that you try to my account and get the pet, and then you just be like, well, technically you didn't get the pet, and that would haunt me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I didn't realize about Araxxor was that, again, this might be mentioned later, is that if you destroy it and don't get any loot, you double your chance of getting a pet, which is actually kind of an interesting mechanic.
Yeah, I don't think this is really well known or really discussed by most people, and unless you are actually doing the boss and look up the wiki.
Yeah, they do mention this update, but I didn't know about it last week.
Yeah, so like whenever you kill the boss, it doesn't just drop loot. You have to like go up and harvest it. You can choose to destroy the body, which will lose all the loot, but doubles your chance to get a pet.
Yeah, so pet hunters rejoice. You could still go really dry though. Because I was thinking double the chance of getting the pet. At Scurrius, that would still be, what, like 6,500 KC? Yeah, and not making any money along the way.
It's not a lot, because it's like, even if it's 0.0001%, then it would be 0.002%. It's still not very high.
Yeah.
So.
But kind of an interesting mechanic. I think I like it actually. I think it's kind of cool because you are like it's give and take. You know, it's not just boosting. You don't get any money, and like the money's probably pretty decent. I wasn't getting like super fast kills per hour because I get distracted when I'm streaming. So I've probably made like a couple mil. I'd like to think. I don't know,
Even
but
with all the blood runes?
we don't count how much loss I have. I see another June bug outside. They have been so obsessed with us lately.
Yeah, it's because it's June.
It's September. But do you guys, if any of you guys have them, they're like beetles, but I think that they're like blind and they just like buzz so loud and they just run into stuff all the time. But I love them. They always run into our window. I just saw it. Anyway,
That's
sorry.
cool.
I like them. They're really cute. That's all I have done this week is try to do Slayer to get Araxxor, and then I got Araxxor. So I've just been doing that the past couple days.
Dude, you won.
Yeah, it's not the most riveting stream content. Definitely less people watching than when I raid.
It's a very Vorkath boss to
Yeah.
stream, which means it's not very interesting.
Yeah, but I think it's fun, so I'm gonna do it until I get a couple more collection log slots. Probably, I probably just like finish this one task and then, you know, kind of go back to doing Top because I do like Top, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm about to hit my 300th raid, so I'm gonna wait and do that with Megan too.
Nice. That's cool.
Stupid. Yeah, and then in real life, working. I'm a working gal. We traveled. We flew.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't
we
even
just-
freak out.
We just visited family up north.
Yeah, it was fun, and we were only in the air for like an hour, but I took half a Xanny, and I was chill. I didn't have a panic attack, so we love that for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, I
It's
guess.
good. And how are you?
Pretty good. I haven't played any RuneScape. Actually, this is gonna be kind of relevant to like what's been going on in the community this week, but I'm probably not gonna renew my membership because I haven't really been playing recently, and yeah, I don't know, just not really vibing with it, you know.
Yeah, the way that the year is worth it. I'm frowning, but the year is worth it if you play consistently. The way you play, you could honestly just do month to month, whenever you feel like playing it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into it and how they are like purposely screwing over certain players.
Do we have more to say? Well, they just do what everyone else does, where it's cheaper the more you do it.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll talk
Cheaper
about
per
it.
month.
Anyways, I don't have any stuff like that to talk about because I obviously didn't play the game, but we do have some like things that happened that I thought were really cool throughout the week.
I'll do a little community update real quick.
Oh,
Which
okay.
Eileen hit 100 million farming XP.
Wow.
She wants to beat me.
No, because she wants to get 200 mil all.
But she specifically said something about me when she posted 100 mil, so she wants to beat me.
Dang, that's
She's
crazy.
obsessed. She's obsessed. Who
All right.
not
Yeah.
Anyway, what'd you
probably
say?
definitely not, but okay. Anyways, something I saw that I thought was really insane and like not like oh that's crazy, but like actually insane, is this person. They go by Just Pray BA on Reddit, and it was about their.
told me about
I
this
told
this
you about this. I
morning.
told you about this. So this person has 3,000 Calfight Queen KC, which in and of itself is kind of crazy,
Even on a main, gross.
even on a main. This account is a not a
Snowflake
main.
account.
It is a snowflake account, yeah. So they have 35 combat, I think it is.
Jeez.
That means that they have 66 health. So you know they can't use the Ring of Suffering, and they have 75 defense, and that's it. Everything else is 99. The account is maxed technically.
Sorry, you should specify that the other combat stats are all 1.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a defense pure essentially. So 75 defense, 66 health, and they have 3,000 Calfight Queen kills that take roughly around 6 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes per kill, and they don't kill it the way you would imagine, because they're at
Anyway is pain.
they're at 75 defense, so they can't get kills by just using defense
Yeah, and they
or anything.
probably don't hit very hard.
So the way they do it is they actually have a video. They have a video describing exactly how they do it. Shout out Jasper S. The video I didn't watch because I feel like I would be cursed with whatever energy this person has.
You think it will get you?
Yeah. Anyways, they do not have the
Jar.
They don't have the pet.
Yeah, they don't have the pet or the jar.
They don't have
in
the pet or the
3000.
jar in 3,000 kills. And the way that they get their kills is they have, I think they said 6 Vengeance Other alternate
Can
accounts.
you imagine just your entire screen filled with all these accounts that you're just like one after another, revenge.
Yeah, so
Ugh.
they just continually revenge this account, and then this main character can't use the Ring of Suffering, so they just re-equip Rings of Recoil, and then do 1 damage to Calfight Queen,
Oh my
and that's how they get the
god.
kill.
That's so painful. I want you to watch this video because I want you to have a crazy account like that. That'd be
Yeah.
funny.
So if we were nice and said each kill took 6 minutes, which is definitely lower than the average, that's
118,000?
18,000 minutes,
Yeah.
which is an obscene amount of
A
time.
couple hours.
Yeah, I just had to. That was so unhinged. That
I
like
had to share that with the class.
is in competition with like Limpwort, the YouTuber, and how in their very first episode they got 99 woodcutting with the basic tree in Lumbridge Castle.
Ew. Ew.
It's definitely on par.
I really admire people who can do those long videos like that where it's one episode, but you know that they spent several months working on that singular goal.
Yeah, a lot of their
I've
episodes
never been
are
able
like
to
eight,
do that.
Yeah, a lot of their episodes are like 8 months compressed into the video.
I can't do that. I really admire it though. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Another shout out to XP Marnie. This person, we've seen a few of their posts throughout the last few weeks because they are the longest dry streak on KBD for the pet,
Okay.
but no longer. They have
Jeezy.
acquired the Prince Black Dragon, ending their run at 22,758 KC, rank 5.
Bruh.
So
They got their sweet prince.
you have a chance
Ew.
because you're missing the rat, right? You're not going to get it till
Yes.
27,000.
Stop it. Aloe did not have a premonition that day. I don't know why you're saying like it's a fact. He's saying they're drinking his little drink and he's like 27,000. That didn't
Yeah.
like set it in stone.
Anyways, if you do see King Marnie in game, give them a flap emote. Also, I guess kind of like a shout out to the community in general is that I mean this is just a Reddit post. This could not even be significant at all, but apparently we hit 160,000 concurrent players this week,
Wow.
which is I'm guessing a new best. So that's pretty cool. The game also, this happened a few weeks ago. This is just like an aside. The subreddit reached over 1 million members,
Holy
which
moly.
is puts it in like the top 5 like video game subreddits of all time or something.
Yeah, I feel like myself and other people joke about niche British video games, but it's actually not a niche game at all.
Yeah.
It's kind of a big game.
Yeah, definitely not a niche game.
But it feels like it because it's cheesy.
Last community update before I get into like more of the like
Drama.
less interesting things is I thought this person was pretty funny, kind of like cursed content, but anyways, what they were doing is they were going to people that were barraging dust devils in Corinne and asking them to see their head, and they said if you're bald, I'll give you a mil or 5
That's
mil.
mean. Someone did that to me.
And people are like, oh yeah, for sure, definitely bald, and they take off their head, their helmet, and,
Their head.
yeah, take off their head. And for anyone that doesn't know, if you don't have the nose plug going to dust devils, you will quickly be killed.
I didn't get killed. It lowers all of your stats though.
It lowers your stats, which immediately gets rid of your overheads. Almost
Oh.
immediately.
Yeah, someone did that to me before. There's a clip of it, and I didn't even notice because I was so distracted by chat. And I was like, "Yeah, look at my hair. It's blue." And I just kept
Yeah.
talking, and I didn't realize. And I looked over, and I was like, "Oh, my stats! I can't even hit anymore."
Yeah. So shout out to the Puff Lord. 'Cause,
You're a bully.
Yeah, that's funny every time someone does that.
No.
Besides that, though, something less interesting is if anyone remembers a year or two ago, RuneScape was acquired by
Oh,
the
yeah.
Carlisle Group.
Forgot about that.
Since then, they have now actually sold it.
Again?
Again.
It wasn't as big of a deal this time.
Yeah, it says so they struck a deal with the investments firm CVC and Haveli are now going to acquire Jagex from the Carlisle Group.
That's weird. I wonder why they sold it so quick.
I mean,
They made their money.
Yeah, I mean, if they're like, all right, we'll pay you 100 mil more than what you paid, then it's like,
man. Who am I to say no?
yeah, they just cashed out 100 mil. So they cashed out some bonds, and now they have no longer have the company.
Now they're multimillionaires.
Yep. Anyways, lastly, the thing that we were talking about, I'll cover it here because they don't have a post about it or anything like that.
Okay.
Since last week, we did kind of cover it, but it's still a topic that's going around. They have updated the terms and conditions. So this is like one of the main reasons that people are upset about the membership changes. For
I didn't.
anyone,
Okay.
for anyone curious, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, $2. What's $2?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that big a deal." I think like some people were doing like I think the highest post, I think because it's like a funny meme, is like people saying like comparing RuneScape to like World of Warcraft, for
Mm-hmm.
example. They're all like, oh, how much it would cost to have 8 characters in WoW. $15. You can make as many
In
characters.
RuneScape, a lot
You can
more.
make as many characters as you want.
Literally, when you told me about that Calfight Queen person and their 6 alts, I was like, that's a lot of memberships.
That's a lot of memberships.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, that is like not a proper comparison because, people are correctly saying like you can't log into WoW 8 times
At the same time,
at the same
multi-logging.
time. That would still cost you $15 times 8.
Yeah, but it's weird because like I don't multi-log, so as someone who likes to just play on 2 different accounts from like sometimes I used to do that.
Yeah.
It's weird that you can't just log into your other account and
Yeah.
have a membership.
No, yeah. I think if you're a normal person that doesn't have like multiple accounts logged in at the same time, which I do think is probably like less than 5% of the whole player base,
Mm-hmm.
and that's being generous. Then yeah, like WoW, Guild Wars, Elder Scrolls, all those games you can have like almost, not unlimited, but quite a few characters. In World of Warcraft, you can have like 65 characters or something like that.
Jesus.
So I think that those were funny, but it would cost you like $120 to make 8 characters in RuneScape or something like that. But it's like
Eh.
that's not a proper comparison.
Something interesting because you said people are like, oh, it only went up $2 a month, which doesn't sound like a lot. And then you said we had 150 concurrent players, 150K.
Yeah, 160K.
150 people. That's an extra $300,000 every month for them in membership.
Yeah. And a lot of people do point out that that's like they're not saying like, oh, we'll give you more content, or the devs are going to make more money, or
The devs probably are not going to make more money.
No, probably
it's
not.
probably just like the higher up rich people getting richer, to be honest.
Yeah. So that's like kind of interesting. But like one of the big I don't know if I would say the crux, but one of the big complaints, and this is probably the most justifiable complaint, is that they are making it more difficult / impossible to take your your grandfathered membership price over. And
Oh,
they
want to get rid of all the grandfathers in the game.
yeah, they actually changed their terms of service.
Mm-hmm.
So like previously it said that all membership prices going forward would retain their membership as long as they stayed members. So even if you bought a year and it ended up being like $4 a month, or if you bought month to month and that was $4 a month, it didn't matter, that would continue on forever.
Mm-hmm.
But what they did recently is they changed it so now only the 1 month and the 6 month will carry on, because remember they got rid of the 3 month a few years ago. And this is annoying because unless you got grandfathered in like forever ago, it is just like way more expensive than it was to do it yearly compared to like month to month.
Yeah.
Um,
It's annoying.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying, and the funny part is someone commented on this and commented the exact thing that they're aiming to do, and they're all like, people are like, oh, just unsubscribe if you don't like this, because then obviously they'll be like, oh, people are unsubscribing, we don't like this.
They won't, because not enough people would commit to that for us to have a proper protest of it.
No, well, I mean maybe, but someone was like, oh, I can't unsubscribe because the only good subscription option is a year.
Yeah.
And so I can't unrenew for 200 days.
Me too.
So they won't see my protest until long after this is done.
True, yeah.
So what they do is they make it like the only real feasible way for any new player that is like financially savvy is, unless they plan on playing for like whatever the break point is, like 3 months or less, then they might as well just buy the 6 month or the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then in that case, they can't hold it over the company's head and like unsubscribe willy-nilly.
Because all of our things are coming unexpired at different time or expiring at different times.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it can never be a proper
So you would have to
protest.
just like straight up quit for like a whole year.
Which I'm not doing that, and I know a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny.
They do make it hard to protest that. That's weird.
I thought it was super funny that someone was saying like, "Oh, I can't quit. I can't unsubscribe even if I wanted to," because
Yeah. Because you're in that locked contract.
yeah, and it's a big difference. If you buy it per year, it ends up being less than half the price. And it's always been this way, less than half the price of month to month.
But that's still expensive.
Yeah.
Was that like, when did they sell it again? Was this like the first thing that the new company has done?
I don't know.
Or this was like Carlyle
it.
Group's frick you before they left?
I have no idea. I didn't check the timelines.
It could be either one.
It could be either one.
I was thinking, wouldn't that be such a spicy way for a new company to come in that bought it and be like, yep, we're increasing the prices?
Yeah.
I could see that, though.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate. I just thought I would bring it up, and I thought it was funny. Because also, I mean, yeah, they weren't like, oh, this is $2 more a month, and, we'll try to put out like an extra big patch, or we're hiring new people. They're just like, oh.
They just blame inflation, but
that's it, dude.
You're a multi-million-dollar company. I don't think that you could blame inflation.
I mean, they can.
They're worth like $100 million, right?
No, they're worth like hundreds of mil now.
Yeah. I will not let them blame inflation.
I think we checked like 5 years ago, and it was like 150 mil even back then.
5 years ago. We only been doing the podcast for 3.5. We've been doing the podcast for 3.5. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The
like
podcast would almost be
years.
done with college.
What? What?
If the podcast went to college, like a 4-year university, it would almost be done with college.
Yeah, you think so?
Do you ever like think about that?
Well, joke's on you because I would have failed. But yeah, so I don't know. There's no good like the CV. Okay. So yeah, it used to be a few hundred mil. Apparently, the CVC Capital Partners Group bought it from Carlyle for 910 million euro.
Huh?
Or pounds, sorry.
So that's a lot of money.
That is a ton of money. That is a boatload of money, brother.
A couple bucks.
Couple dollars, dude.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, kind of crazy. Oh, that's so funny. Here they say,
Ace of Spades.
No, not Ace of Spades. Space Punks. I remember when they were like, oh, we're gonna have a looter shooter called Space Punks, and they just never.
Oh, I had early access, and that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Aww.
Rest
kind of a cute name.
Yeah.
Space Punks. That's cute.
Well. But yeah, so kind of funny. The game is definitely nearly worth a bill. They can almost buy a Tebow, and cannot afford to pay their developers even remotely okay sum.
We need to have one of the mods on the podcast so I can ask them how much money they make.
Not much. I'm sure.
Curious. I know some people are weird about saying how much they make, but I'm not. I'm very oversharey. And also, did you know that employers don't want you to talk about how much money you make with other coworkers? Because then you guys will realize that there's bad pay discrepancies. So you should talk about how much money you make.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because that should just be like obvious, but yeah.
Well, it's not. A lot of people think it's illegal too. You're allowed to talk about how much money you make,
yeah.
at least in California. I don't know if there's some weird laws. I could see that being a thing in like Idaho or something.
Yeah, that sounds like terrorism. But yeah, so that's it. Just thought I would highlight a few things this week. There was not a ton to talk about this week, but yeah, those are some things I thought were interesting.
Oh. I'm also almost 99 Hunter. I'm going to try and get by tomorrow so I could say I got it on the podcast, but that's almost definitely not going to happen. I have 600,000 to go.
Nice.
I got distracted by Araxxor.
All right, cool.
Next week.
Yeah, so speaking of Araxxor, we can go into this week's poll.
Yeah. This week's update.
Blog. Yeah, poll blog.
We're just saying words.
Yeah, there we go.
Nouns. I love them. All right, first up is Araxxor. You've already been Araxxing up your kill counts. They didn't say that, but I just thought that was a good one. With the latest Slayer boss to creepy crawl his way into old school, some players have gone as far as to create some unreasonably cute fan art for our favorite arachnid. So we have the little cat Araxxor, which I actually showed you the other day. It's a cat wearing a little Araxxor suit. And then that one is by Cherry Cake. And then Ocean Bites did a little like retro pixel art version of Araxxor the pet, and it looks adorable.
Yeah, pretty good.
There's also been some bugs that have gone to the game, of course. So let's go over the improvements. Araxxor will now helpfully push players away during his death throws instead of letting them stand awkwardly on top of his corpse. The kill time required to drop the coagulated venom, that's the transmog, will no longer take the time between the kill and looting into account. So previously, you had to have already looted his body within 1 minute and 15 seconds. And it was kind of weird because you have to like spam click as soon as the KC's done. So this will make it chiller.
Yeah, and the very first fix was because people were getting stuck inside of Araxxor's dead body.
Oh, they like couldn't move at all?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. I would actually be so sad if I couldn't loot it and I had to tele out.
Yep.
Oof. Next is going to be easier to grab your bottle of Extended Anti-Venom Plus as they've made it more distinctive with a recolor. The Extended Anti-Venom Plus will now also be prioritized when using the cure option for poison or venom by clicking on your hit points orb. I actually read this on the wiki. So it didn't take long for you talented folks to discover some seriously cool text to speed up your kills. Players discovered that you could get Araxxor to do significant damage to himself during his enrage phase with some well-timed step unders. They do like the ingenuity, did I pronounce that?
Yep.
Of this, but they think the damage output was a little bit too crazy, so they're reducing it down to 10 damage each. It used to be 30. I wasn't able to figure it out.
10 damage total.
Yeah, 10 damage total. An extra 10 damage, well, 10 damage every 4 ticks rather than 30 every 4 ticks.
Yeah.
So they hope it still feels worthwhile. I mean, if I could do it, I'd be happy with 10. Hitting for 30 back to back, like people are probably getting crazy KC times.
Yeah, probably.
I couldn't do it correctly. There's also a handful of extra changes that we've made.
So death charges now correctly restore special attack when killing Araxxor.
I was so confused by that because I kept having death charge and I was like, oh, I guess it ran out right before Araxxor died.
It probably didn't count because it goes into a corpse state.
That must be why. Yeah, it was really annoying that the little guys were working.
Yeah. They also are now going to be noting the rune plate legs and kite shield so that you won't have so much inventory pressure.
Cool.
Prayer potions supply drops now drop as a single 4-dose instead of multiple 1 or 2 doses. Spiders have been welcomed back to the gauntlet after a temporary timeout as punishment for phasing in and out of visibility.
They're being bad boys.
Yeah, like if you were running, mobs in the gauntlet would be invisible. Players with racks in their player-owned house will no longer be able to reclaim another nid from Probidia.
Do you think anyone got to put them down next to each other?
Yeah, probably. And then also putting the Soul Reaper axe in the bank with stacks on the weapon and logging out now causes the stacks to start decrementing. We've added an additional audio cue for Araxxor's charged Venom Spit attack to help differentiate it from the basic attack.
Cool. Before we move on, we want to confirm the drop rates for Araxxor's uniques, and it looks like the wiki was correct, per usual. They're pretty spot on always. So the Araxxite Fang has a drop of 1 in 600, while the Noxious Halberd pieces have a drop rate of 1 in 200 each. They also will be similar to Abyss and Bludgeons in that you have dupe protection until you get a full one. And for Nid, the little baby pet, you have a 1 in 3,000 chance. And then if you use the Destroy option on the corpse like we mentioned before, you'll have a 1 out of 1,500 chance.
And then there's the RNA boots as well, which is a 1 out of 4,000 from the small Araxxites and 1 out of 1,600 on task, so more than double the chance. And then a 1 out of 2,000 from the larger Araxxites, or 1 out of 800 on task, so double the drop rate, even more so. And then lastly, a 1 out of 400, or the highest drop rate from a superior.
Yeah. Make sure you're on task if you're grinding those boots. Don't waste your time.
Yeah, it's
kind of like the Basilisk
draw. Way faster on task.
Next up, I did want to say though, I'm really happy with the Araxxor. I actually think it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it looks like a okay enough boss.
Yeah. Next is Poll 82 updates. So first, biggest update this week by far, Trouble Brewing, guys. Bottles of Rum will now award 10 pieces of 8. Collection logging just got a lot freaking easier there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We also removed the swamp segment in temple trekking, meaning you'll no longer
you'll no long.
Here, please.
You'll no
Take over.
longer you'll no longer have to find your way through a bog with just a stick to guide you.
That one took so long for no reason.
Yeah. And then lastly, Mahogany Homes sees a couple updates this week. When taking a new Mahogany Home contract, you can now select last tier contract if you just want to go. I don't know why you'd ever change, but yeah, if you just want to continue going.
If you like leveled up.
Yeah. And this will assign a contract to the same tier that a previous selection was. So skipping the tier selection dialog. This will save you a bunch of time over the grind. So this is nice. You can also use the contract option to choose another tier. Plus, it'll now automatically drink your cup of tea at the end of Mahogany Homes, saving you even more time and restoring your run energy.
That's what I was gonna be like. What does the tea even do?
It is very helpful.
Oh shoot! I almost said a bad
Oh,
word. Oh my gosh!
speaking of shoot, we have some winter taught betas.
I don't know how that was speaking of shoot at all. Anyway, it's actually not out yet, but Wear and Top Beta is coming soon. TM. This is your chance to test out the new warmth meter, which is what placing hit points as the resource to keep topped up. If you guys don't remember that. The Wear and Top's damage, both from basic and special attacks, will now reduce your warmth meter, and you want to keep that topped up by chomping on some food. Remember to wrap up against the harsh climate with some warm clothing, as this will help mitigate Winter Tot's damage, along with keeping as many braziers burning as you can. We've also made some adjustments to the rejuvenation potions, plus how to collect your loot at the end. So now you're no longer getting a billion, what are they called? Crates. That's the main takeaway here for me, is that it'll be like kind of like Temperos where you're pulling.
Oh, yeah. I was like, crates? What do you mean? The same 6 crates are there.
No, like the reward crates.
Yeah, the reward crates, yeah. So those
yeah.
are going to be stacking up as tickets that are ephemeral and not actually things you can hold.
Yeah.
So that'll save you some room. And lastly, we do have the Summer Summit. So this is going to take place on Saturday, September 7th, 8 p.m. BST, 3 p.m. EST. So make sure to check that out. They have the roadmap.
We will probably watch this together.
Maybe. We'll probably forget. But anyways, the roadmap has already been leaked.
Yeah, no, it wasn't leaked. It was in the email that they sent.
Well, yeah, leaked in the way that they leaked it themselves.
Yes. I'm going to pull it up because I wanted us to go over what we think is going to be in it. I was very confused. Oh, is this like oh, it's in my promotions tab. Okay.
Yeah, they even have a countdown for it. So in 2 hours in 2 days and 16 hours
like
will be the reveal of the roadmap.
Okay.
So there are 7 squares in the OSRS roadmap and then 3 squares in the things beyond the roadmap.
So that's just eventually in our lifetime.
Yes.
So OSR's roadmap, all they're showing is Varlamore, presumably part 2 of Varlamore.
Yeah, there are 3 parts.
I can't really read it. It's too tiny.
There's going to be 3 parts in total. We already know that, so this is presumably number 2.
I wanted to go over some of our guesses as to what's going to be on it.
Okay.
I think Varlamore part 3. That's just like easy. I think it'll be part 2 and part 3. Oh, what was the other thing? Earlier, I was thinking maybe like the first sailing beta. But considering that sailing's on the Beyond, that makes me kind of unsure if they put sailing on here twice.
Yeah.
Even though, like, that's releasing sailing as a whole, and I'm just talking about a beta. And to think, because also this is going to be the last summit until RuneFest, they basically said. So to think that it could be done in 6 months, ready for beta, kind of seems too crazy, I think. Do you think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe not that. I think we're going to get leagues again. There's a big square in the middle. I think it might just be to look cool, but I think it's going to be leagues because I want it to be leagues.
Okay.
And I also think we'll get probably another backlogged quest and maybe a new boss. I don't think it'll be the holiday events on here again.
Okay.
I'd like to think that. And then, yeah, maybe like a revamp of some skill would be nice.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
What do you think?
So I think it's Varlamore, part 2, and then the next 2 squares are going to be holiday events. So I think it's going to be something for Halloween and then something for Christmas. And then I think shortly after that we're going to get leagues.
I hope so.
During Christmas break, the very end of December. And then I think in early January, we're going to get... it's either going to be another holiday event, or it's going to be Varlamore Part 3.
We don't get... The next holiday event's Easter.
Yeah, so I think...
Or the birthday.
So I think it's going to be Easter, and then Varlamore Part 3. Mm-hmm. And I feel like there's going to be something else. I think
there's always a wild card.
I think Varlamore Part 3 is going to be at the very end.
Okay.
I think it's going to be like a month before the sailing beta.
Yeah. So you do think there'll be a sailing beta as well? Because that just says sailing, like, the and beyond presumably means it's going to be released past March of next year. So that
Yeah.
could be any time.
Okay, yeah. So I think it's going to be Varlamore, Halloween, Christmas, Leagues, um what's it called? The rabbit,
Easter.
Easter. And then it's going to be Varlamore Part 3 and then Sailing Beta. And then Sailing Actually
Oh,
is
for
going
the
to
and beyond.
for the and beyond there's 3 little sections. I think we're going to get Sailing. They already revealed that these two are revealed that we have Sailing, and HD is going to come eventually. And then the last
Beyond
thing,
TM.
Beyond TM, I think is going to be a skill revamp.
Oh, you know what? That could be a bigger one rather than just on the roadmap because that's kind of a big undertaking, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think a skill revamp will be somewhere on here. I think there'll be more wild cards instead of holiday events on the roadmap because they always surprise us with stuff like that.
Yeah, I think there's
Like
going
maybe
to
some game
be
jam stuff
I think there's going to be one single update that
is random.
was completely random and unforeseen.
Okay, I think
And
there'll be
I
a
think it'll
couple.
be after the end of this year. I don't think it'll happen this year.
I think we'll get like maybe one this year towards the end of the year. Maybe like one of the past game jam things that we liked. What if one of them was like that wilderness thing that they were talking about forever ago?
I could see them putting like Christmas and or Halloween as one of the
I don't think they'll
updates.
put Easter as one.
Yeah, I could see them instead of doing, because I have Christmas and Halloween. I could
Yes.
see instead of one of those, they just do a random, pretty lackluster but random update.
Like a scurrious.
Yeah, something like that.
I
And then
like scurrious.
kind of something similar but more significant around Easter.
Okay, so like a little baby wild card and then a big mama wild card next year.
Not very big, but
Bigger.
more like Araxxor, but maybe slightly less.
Okay, so we both agreed on Varlamore Part 2 and 3. Well, 2 guaranteed.
Yeah.
We both think Sailing
I
Beta and Leagues.
I am almost certain the one in the middle of the roadmap,
It's
the big one, is Leagues.
It's got to be Leagues.
Yeah.
If it's not Leagues, I am actually going to be very disappointed because they was so fun last year.
Yeah, because this was and also I'm pretty sure the holidays were a similar time they were aiming for last Leagues, but it was delayed.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind it being in like January or so. Because then, because you know, like at the end of Leagues, they have like people who like win stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like most points. That I feel like they could do that at RuneFest.
I think
That'd be kind of cute.
I think they're going to aim for the week before holiday or the week or 2 weeks after holiday.
Like when but people will be going back to work, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think I don't think they'll do it during holiday. So like during the 25th.
Because people will be with family.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that'll happen.
That's fair. But I think that's for sure the big one's going to be Leagues.
Yeah.
I really hope so. And then I kind of like your idea of the and beyond to be the skill expansion because I think there's definitely going to be a skill thing because they've been talking about redoing skills for a while.
I know what they're gonna do.
What?
This will either be part of and beyond or later in the year in the roadmap.
Like next year's?
Is going to be the additional prayers.
Oh, I forgot about that. What are they called again? The
Um,
prayer alignments.
Yeah, prayer alignments. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, true, because I totally forgot about those happening.
Yeah.
You've been sneaky. You haven't been talking about anymore. It's a little suspicious. When are we going to get the dogs? What if the dogs are on there?
Dude, they're gonna be front and center.
They're in the middle. Dogs.
Just
I'd be happy.
3 hippos.
Just little or not bulldogs, pit bulls.
Yeah. That's what I think.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm really excited for the summer summit.
So yeah, so my final guess is gonna be Varlamore, which we know, part 2, and then it's going to be I think it's going to be a random event, like a random thing that we didn't foresee, like a random game jam thing. It might not even be like content; it might just be a weird update, quality of life thing.
Mm-hmm. Like how
And
the
then-
hairstyles.
Yeah, something like that. And then they're going to have an event. It's probably going to be Christmas or something. And then they're going to have leagues end of this year, beginning of next year. And then they're going to have another random event. Actually, I think they'll probably do Easter right after leagues.
You think Easter will be on here?
I think Easter will be on here. And then or maybe another like similarly meaningless like thing around that time.
Okay.
And then shortly after that, I think we'll have well, when is Easter? February?
It can be in March or April even.
March or April. All
'Cause I
right.
remember it fell on 420
In that
before.
case, I think they're because how long is leagues? Like 2 months? Yeah. No,
Yeah.
actually, this is accurate. Okay. So they're gonna have Easter or something like that, and then they're gonna have like a bigger random update, and then Varlamore Part 3.
I think you're going too far into the year because this is a summer summit. We're still going to get winter one probably in March. I just don't think
Yeah.
Easter will be on here.
Okay. Well, then what else would it be?
Another wild card. I think that we'll have 2 Game Jam wild
Okay. Then
cards.
I think instead of Easter, they're just gonna have like a earlier in the year. So like, let's say this ends. Like, let's say leagues ends like slightly before the end of February, and then they're gonna have like I don't know what else would they have during leagues though, because leagues is 2 months, right?
I don't think that there'll be anything during leagues. I think maybe like a quest right before, right after, like a backported quest.
I feel like these next three things are gonna be small and crappy
I don't.
because they're coming off the back of leagues.
Which makes me almost wonder if that is leagues.
I think
But it's got to be leagues, right?
I think it's going to be. I think I'm fairly accurate on the first three, or the first four up to leagues, and then I think it's going to be two crappy updates, and then Varlamore.
Okay. I think Varlamore Part 2. And then after that, I will say wild card. What was the other thing I thought? I'm forgetting my things. Wild card, maybe 2 wild cards right there. Leagues. I don't know about a sailing beta because I don't know why this middle square is so much bigger than the others because sailing beta would be a bigger deal than leagues.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Maybe not.
I mean, they barely even got like the renderings available, let alone a playable thing.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking if it would be a sailing beta, it'd be like the absolute last thing on the map. Okay, so Varlamore, random game jam, maybe a backported quest, leagues, another new random boss, another game jam, and then I kind of still think maybe a skilling revamp. I could see the skilling being on either one, really.
Okay.
But let us know what you guys think, please.
Yeah, we will see.
I'm like blanking right now that I'm feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
We will see in exactly 2 days, 16 hours, 4 minutes, and 40 seconds.
41 seconds. 40! Anyway, there were some other tiny baby changes.
Yeah, so extremely small baby changes the size of Michelle. Plenty of you have been asking for some insight into the rocky drop rate for the Varlamore house thieving activity. So we want to let you know it is 1 out of 206,777.
I thought that was 20,000. I can't read. Wow.
No, this is a skilling pet drop, so it is very low.
If you got it, now you know how spooned you were.
Yep. That is a 1 out of. I mean, what's the percent of that? 0.0002.
I have no idea. It's a lot.
Very, very low.
Anyway, other changes. Expeditious Bracelet now ensures players will receive the correct Slayer points during Slayer Partner Slayer when is used. You're no longer able to gain XP through magic spells on the pillars within the Path of Scarabus.
Yeah, because people were able to get 300,000 XP by using
Like splashing?
Yeah, one of the splashing
That's
techniques.
so funny.
It wasn't exactly splashing. It's one of the other things on the pillars in the room up to the queen, the dung queen. You could just splash on there for 300k an hour.
Jeez.
It would cost you, I think, from 77 or around there to 99. It would cost you a lot more than normal splashing. It would be like 100 mil instead of 50 mil. It was like twice as much.
But you're not doing it for cash efficiency.
Yeah, it was still like 350k an hour. Like, it was a lot. And it was AFK.
This next thing's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, so this is really weird. Anyways,
the merch update.
Yeah, so old school Rune Breaks. It's an album of official low poly atmospheric drum and bass remixes of select songs.
Yeah.
So this is remixed by the London producer Pizza Hotline.
Love
with
that.
the art done by Matthew Lahire, aka Uber. Rune Breaks features 11 blissed out tracks. It's funny because Bliss reminds me of Blizz, which is like the
The meth in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, the meth in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. They also
Some
have
methed out tracks.
complete with unique chilled out animations where you can watch and listen to the full track out on the YouTube channel now.
Honestly, the animations are the cutest things ever. I saw one on Twitter, and it was like a goblin just like floating in water, and it was so cute and chill looking. I don't know, I really loved it.
Yeah, you can buy this in either just the regular old MP3 form, or you can get the vinyl via Laced Records on their store or on the official RuneScape merch store. It's also available at just pretty much any major music streaming platform, so I'd recommend checking that out if you're super interested.
I wanted to show you the emote. Does that little goblin not look blissed out, just floating in the water?
He does look blizzed out, that's for sure. It is an hour long. You can go check it out on the RuneScape YouTube channel. It's just there for free.
Cool.
Yeah, so if you want to see it.
And if you want to support, you could buy.
Yeah, you can also buy the what's it called? What is it? What is
The
this
vinyl?
called? The vinyl.
Vinyl.
The vinyl. Yeah, you can buy the vinyl if you want the limited edition vinyl that is like a crystal blue.
Wow, it's a really pretty color.
Available, but it's limited, and it's £36, and it's also £36 for the regular unlimited edition version if
I
you
would get
miss
the
out.
limited edition one.
Yeah,
Just saying, it's pretty.
pretty cool. Looks
Pretty
pretty good.
cool.
Same price over on the RuneScape merch site. Also, there are additional clothes that have been updated on the official merch
They're
site.
kind of cute. They're like very minimalist. They're just like little guys on shirts, basically,
Yeah,
or like on beanies.
they look like actual clothes.
Yeah, like some of them are even flannels. The flannels are a little expensive, of course, but they look really nice. They look like they're good quality too.
Yeah, so generally kind of cool. They also have the issue number 2 of Untold Tales of the God Wars on pre-sale now. If you like the first one, maybe get the second one.
We have to choose which one's our favorite looking.
Um,
Because it's 3 different arts. Okay, like that's pretty crazy. That's pretty. Oh, it's God War Dungeon. I forgot.
yeah, God Wars Dungeon themed. The pre-order for digital devices, for anyone wondering how much it is $5, just like the last one.
Sick.
And there are 4 different covers. If you missed it, the covers are just completely random, as far as I understand.
Well, they're God War Dungeon related.
Yeah.
Oh, we've already seen some of these covers.
Yeah, we've already seen some of these.
Yeah.
There's additional. This is new.
The art is really pretty though. They have like 4 different art styles too, so it's like fun to see everyone's different ones.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different art styles, so you can check them out. They're going to be released on October 9th. So, and the second issue is going to be on November 6th.
They also are having a special new Virgin cover for issue 1, which has just been announced. It'll be limited edition featuring only the black and white sketch art for cover 1A by Alan Qua. So if you want like something more unique.
Yeah, and then like I said, they also update and tell you that there is additional clothes like we just mentioned, so check them out if you like.
They
And
look really cute.
lastly, the PvP arena is on Max Med.
Huge news.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like a baby update this week, but like all kind of cutesy things.
Yeah, very,
Seems
very
fun.
small, but it's okay. I mean, some
And next
weeks
week will
are
be
better.
a lot with the Summer Summit. So let us know what you guys think that is going to be in the summit. Please, please, please.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. A lot to talk about next week, even if we don't this week.
Yep.
All right, it is the next day, and we neither of us have anything to update
Yeah,
on.
nothing new, but a little bit of a RuneScape thing. They did tweet a picture of like the Summer Summit roadmap, and they teased a little bit of it. So they said next Varlamore's release date will be given. So does that just basically saying like part 3 as well? No, part 2 probably. Sailing will not feature at this summit. New holiday events to come, but aren't shown on the roadmap. That's what you felt like 3 of them were.
Yeah.
Everything else is new, fresh announcements.
All right.
What
Then-
other kind of things do we think? I've seen a lot of people saying that they want Latin American servers and Asian servers as well as customer service. But that might be too crazy.
I think it's gonna be like a low key, like a bait.
Nuh-uh.
I think.
How?
I think they're okay. So they're like, okay, we're not gonna have holiday stuff. We're only gonna have new stuff. I think the new stuff is either gonna be like trash or just like non-actual things.
Well,
Okay.
I don't think everything's going to be huge for sure.
Well, yeah, I think like 3. Okay, of the 7 that are gonna be shown, I think 3 of them will like low key be as significant as the ruins of Camdazal.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I'm not opposed to that. I mean, I'm not expecting 7 huge, massive
Yeah.
things.
if I had to guess, 3 of them are going to be like low-key dead on arrival content.
I went there for a little bit. One of my best videos, or not best, one of my most watched videos
Yeah.
took place in Camdesal. They were
No,
not good videos.
it's fine. I mean, Camdesal was fine. It's just it wasn't like content.
You don't go back to Camdesal all the time.
No, I
Unless you're
don't.
running to Whisperer.
I think I've only ever been there once. I think most people don't even go there, if I'm being honest. But
Whenever I was going for Whisperer, there was actually people there.
yeah, I think people go there for the quest, obviously, and then that's it.
I don't know. But anything extra that you think will be on it instead? Anything specific?
No, I think it's kind of the same thing we're talking about, where it's gonna be like Varlamore and then leagues. I mean, they might even like tease like another Deadman or another like PvP event,
Yeah.
and then like also yeah, like one like boss or something.
I think definitely a new boss.
That's gonna be
we get
like
like a boss a
significant.
year at least.
And then yeah, that's the four of them, and I think the other three are going to be like either insignificant bosses or like
Smaller
quests
quality of life.
quests that like suck, or yeah, quality of life, which would probably be better than like most of the things they could put on there.
What do you think about customer service?
I don't even think that's remotely on the radar. It's
I'm
not
like,
even close.
I didn't think it was, but people were like replying it, obviously half joking. But like they had job postings for live customer support.
Yeah, the thing is
I
that's
applied for it.
no, I don't. I definitely don't think. Even if they did
It was
do
a
that,
joke job
it
posting.
wouldn't be on there.
It'd be for other stuff probably.
Yeah,
Like more
I don't
your
think
credit card was denied.
I don't think they are going to get like better customer support, but even if they did, it wouldn't be on the Summer Summit.
I've seen a lot of people saying that they hope that false bans are addressed. And I'm sure that there are like a lot of false bans, but I wonder how much these people who think that they have false bans, they're not false bans.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's easy for me to say because I haven't had one. If I was falsely banned, I'd probably be very annoying about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people aren't false banned.
I'm sure it definitely happens sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure it happens sometimes, but I don't know. Yeah, I definitely don't think it's that common, especially because I know many people that say they get false banned when they're just like we're straight up real world trading or
The
something.
time that we low key caught someone on our stream that did that.
Not even low key, just
Yeah,
actually.
someone they were like posting in a Reddit about botting and
Yeah, they're
stuff,
talking
and
about
one
botting.
of our like mods sent it to me.
Yeah, even if someone like, because I mean, there's some people that probably just legitimately don't know that it's illegal to sell gold or buy gold, and
That's
maybe
true. A
they
lot
just,
of bans probably they don't realize they're breaking the rules.
they're like, I didn't do anything, and they're like, oh well, we saw like 500 mil get transferred you
And they're
by a different account.
Wait,
so
that's not allowed?
that's I mean, and they're like, oh, this is like from like unknown seller.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know.
Not everyone's familiar with the game rules too.
Yeah, so I guess like it could just be, I think it's probably mostly negligence on the owner of the account's parts. I do think the like false bans are like so rare. Just because like someone made a good
so many
point.
posts about them, and I'm just like, I just can't believe them all. You know, I feel bad
Yeah.
because what if they really were? But like looking at them, I'm like, that just doesn't seem probable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, speaking of
Sorry, what did you
this
see?
is totally an aside. Oh,
Oh, by the way, we think we both have ADHD. If that wasn't obvious right now.
I was gonna say, that reminds me of like, well, I'll get to two things. So the
Okay.
first thing is it reminded me of someone made a post or someone made a comment on like, I think it might have even been a comment on the person that got 3,000 Calfight Queen KC.
Oh wow.
And they're like, oh, see, this is why the like anti-cheat system is having such a hard time because there's real life people that do things like this.
True. People play this game weird.
Yeah, like there's someone that like might legitimately cut a tree in one spot, never moving from that spot for 8 months to get 200 mil, and that's like a cool thing for them to do.
That's why I'm so hesitant to call anyone a bot. Everyone's like, "Oh, that person's definitely a bot. They're definitely a bot because they're like doing AFK stuff," and I'm like, they could just be weird.
Yeah.
Like I'm not convinced easily people are bots.
Yeah, so I thought that was funny, but also that reminds me, you remember like a few months ago, this reminded me because we were talking about like real world trading.
Mm-hmm.
A few months ago, you remember whenever that one streamer
The
randomly,
big streamer from a different game?
yeah, randomly played and then like lost all of his items or whatever, and then
Yeah.
got them restored to him.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I think that was like last year.
Yeah, I found out that that guy on his Discord like sells services for money.
Real money?
Yeah. Like
In
just
RuneScape?
straight up like TOS type of stuff.
Oh.
Like they
At least
have
be more subtle about it, bro.
like services. So it's just so funny that Jagex restored items, which they've never, pretty much almost never ever do.
That was totally just catering to someone who had advertised the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Well, they said that they supposedly do that sometimes.
Yeah,
But people don't
in
have a
like
platform to mention
cases
it.
where people get like hacked legitimately and have all of their items deleted.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen like twice or something. But yeah, I thought that was really random. Yeah, they offer like services for money, I'm pretty sure.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, kind of weird. And they just like advertise it on their Discord. Really
It's
weird.
strange that people will be so open about doing things.
Yeah.
I don't know how they don't get in trouble.
I don't know. And the post about it wasn't even that long ago, so it's much after the fact
Yeah.
of that entire fiasco.
They realize, wait, I can make money here.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what. Oh yeah, because we're talking about rural trading. But yeah,
Yes.
that reminded me. No, I don't think they're gonna have customer service, anyways. But that definitely not gonna include it on that.
That'd be nice if they added more servers.
Yeah, that's also not gonna happen.
Maybe that's why memberships went up.
No, I don't think. What? Well, I mean, I'm not saying like this is a good reason, but I don't think people understand like how expensive just adding servers is. Like it's an expense
It
where
was like $1 an hour.
the company's not gonna be like, oh yeah, dude, I got a couple mil to throw around. No, dude, this company's owned by shareholders. They're not.
They, to be fair, they do have a couple mil to throw around, but they're greedy probably. in
No,
the
that's what I
long-
mean. Like, the more money they spend on the game, the less they have as profit. So it's like they're not gonna do that.
It would be nice though.
Especially if
Those
it's
would be two really
working.
cool ones if that happened.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I highly doubt it. Also, the mods are there to showcase the things that they've been making, and they don't have any say, if I had to guess, about the infrastructure of the game or its
True.
customer service.
But if something like that was going to be announced, I think that they'd be happy to deliver the news because they get so much grief from the community.
I
know what
guess
I
so, but I would like to give the mods credit
Mhm.
in that if that actually mattered to them and they had a say in it, it would have been done a long time ago.
Okay, what I meant is they don't have a say in it, but they were told, hey, we're going to add customer support. And they're like, oh, let us announce it, so it seems fun.
Oh,
Was how I was thinking about it. I don't think they have any say in servers or any of that,
yeah.
to be fair. Anyway, shall we move on?
Yeah, we can move on. Yeah, for sure.
So Q&A time. First question is kind of related to this. This is from Wraith over on Discord. Why is customer service important for a game like OSRS, and how would you improve it? Wraith's answer: it's important because the capacity for Jagex to frick something up that requires customer support is unusually high for a game that costs $100 a year to play. Side note, if you exclusively play free to play, you take what you can get. If you get any perks for something that is free, then you have zero room to complain. I think people could complain no matter what. I just want to cut in there. I think paying members deserve a robust support system and ticketing system managed by informed Jagex employees, not an outsourced team of people who know nothing about the game. They need to move customer support off social media and into a system where people can conduct a live manual review of the problem upon request.
Yeah.
I would strongly like to agree that, yeah, it should be off social media because it's very weird that people have to reach out to mods on social media to request stuff or reply to the, like, RuneScape Twitter. That's bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure.
So why is it important, and how would you improve it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just hire more people, right? More people that like actually know what they're doing. Because I mean, I'm sure maybe somewhere there is a person that looks at some of these ban and appeals.
There's
But,
just not a full team, probably.
I mean, it's probably getting. Let's be honest, it's probably getting outsourced to like India because they get paid pennies over there, and
Sad.
those people just probably haven't played the game or don't know what they're like. Even that'd be like an officer of the law from Antarctica that polices Antarctica coming here, never knowing what the U.S. is, and then policing here. It's like they don't even know the laws. Like, how can they even police it? That's literally the same thing.
I didn't know that we probably outsource it, but that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah, most people do.
Yeah.
Customer support is like the number one most outsourced thing, if I even had to guess.
That's crazy.
Among all companies. So it's like, yeah, if they can pay someone in India like literally $5 to do what you would do for $200 a day or whatever, they're gonna do that, obviously. So
Shady, taking advantage of people.
yeah, I mean, just like people. I mean, not saying that there's uneducated people in India, but like maybe
No, they
if
just don't play the game
you
maybe
like
as much. People that are
specifically employed people that knew something about the game somehow, or people that just actually worked in like a place that had training about the game or something like that. Or just cared, I guess.
I just like the idea of a live chat more.
Yeah, that's way
'Cause-
better. A ticketing system would be the number one thing.
Yeah. And then just like give clear timelines. That's what we have to do at work. And the clear timelines is actually very helpful to say the 2 to 3 business days and specify so people don't call after a week and be like, it's been 2 days.
No, yeah.
Like, it actually helps a lot. I've seen it in practice.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know how, like, for instance, the way it works in World of Warcraft is, like, if something happens, like, you're like, oh, I dropped this one-of-a-kind item on accident, can you restore it?
Yeah.
You would put in a ticket saying that exact thing, and then you'd have, like, a little pop-up showing in, like, your top right corner that you have a Blizzard ticket open.
Cute.
And it'll say that it's waiting for a response.
That's cool.
And then eventually the GM will like send a message like responding to you, and then you can have like a correspondence. And this is
you actually get to speak with someone?
Yeah, it's like a real person.
Huge.
And I mean, I have heard that it's like sometimes automated nowadays, like the responses. But even then, I've had a good like experience with it, so it's not like I like with Jagex. I don't even know if they would ever respond, for instance. Whereas like over 2 days, I'm pretty confident I would get like some kind of real life response.
Yeah.
And I've even seen in real life, like people get responses in game.
Oh, like in the chat?
Yeah, like it says like GM next to their name in like
Cool.
a special like logo, and they're actually getting correspondence from a real game master that'll do stuff for them.
Yeah, they just need a bigger team because I know a lot of it's probably people complaining about stuff that can't be fixed. So like an automated system isn't bad if there is some like bot responses to generic things that aren't actually needing consultation.
Yeah.
But then it should be like, like how it is when you call a doctor where you have to maneuver past the bots and then you could actually speak to someone if it's a really big deal.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I honestly think they should just do some kind of ticketing system.
I like the ticketing idea. And I also think it's very important to have customer service in every game, to be honest.
Yeah.
The fact that we don't and people have to go on Twitter is just like so bizarre.
Yeah,
It seems unprofessional.
That being said, the ticketing system is nice, but I honestly think that Blizzard has done enough work that it's not inconvenient for them to track you down in a way where like based on like my experience with like Jagex tracking things down, it is like I don't know,
I'm
brother,
very
like going through a labyrinth
Yeah,
to find
I was
this
gonna say,
stuff.
I'm confused about what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, like I'm sure you'd have to be like a like developer god to understand like if someone did drop something and whether you can or can't restore it on a certain account.
It's just the way the game is developed.
Yeah.
Kind of impossible.
It seems like whenever you interact with like Blizzard support or something, they're all like, "Oh yeah, I can see you did this thing at this time and I can undo it."
Is that just because of our spaghetti code?
If I had to guess, I mean,
Yeah. Because most games, like, you'd think there's, like, a backlog version of everything you do.
Yeah.
In RuneScape, it seems like that's not a thing.
Yeah, it still
Kinda
seems
weird.
like they got, like, rats powering the system in the back or something.
That's where my Scurry's pet is.
Yeah, probably.
It's probably powering them.
I
You're
don't know.
welcome.
It's probably, just like everything, a combination of all these things.
Yeah.
Of, like, they don't have enough money or whatever to pay, like, actual people to actually help. And so they just, like,
to pay a living wage.
implement automated systems, and there's like one guy in the back that has like a closet that he works in that answers like one email a day or something. I don't know.
I don't think they should have live calls though, because people are very aggressive.
No, live calls should probably never be a thing. Live chats should be the next thing above that.
I want to share that I had my first really bad experience at work today.
Yeah.
I've
Well, it
been
wasn't
here.
even that bad.
Well, it's my first time someone screamed at me. And she was only 27, which is like, usually people around my age are very nice. But basically, I'm going to explain to you guys because I'm an overshare. She got a prescription. She requested it be sent somewhere, and her doctor sent it somewhere else. And she called and was like, it's not supposed to be there and I need it today. And I was like, okay, let me call the doctor. Didn't get an answer, naturally. And I was like, I'm so sorry we didn't get an answer. I see like that you requested it. That's so frustrating, blah, 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 trying to empathize. And then she was like, you guys are the worst. You guys effing suck. I hate you all. And she was like screaming at me and hung up on me. And I wanted to cry because I don't like being yelled at. Even though I knew it wasn't my fault. But that was my first time being yelled at. If she would have kept badgering me or berating me or whatever, I think I'm allowed to hang up on her.
Yeah.
I was thinking that whenever she was saying how you guys all suck, and I was like, can I? And then she hung up before I decided.
Yeah. Well, at least, you can't yell through chat support. So.
Yeah, and don't yell at people on customer service, even if you're frustrated, because like I had nothing to do with that entire situation, and I'm the one who got yelled at. I'm like, that's annoying.
Yeah.
Don't be rude.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
I mean,
she hates me.
they should definitely have better support. I mean, you're right. For the most part, a lot of people pay over $100 a year for
Especially
this game.
now. Membership's gone up.
Yeah, especially now. I think even if you bought the year-long subscription, it's pretty close to $100. So yeah, pretty much everyone pays at least $100 a year for this game, which is, I mean, kind of a lot. You know, there's probably like a couple million people that play this game at least.
You
So
make a lot of money.
yeah, it's a lot of money, and I think that's also like reaching all the way back to whenever we were talking about, you know, not seeing your money in the like price hike and
Yeah.
why people are upset is because it's not like you're getting better services. It's not like, oh, there's a new expansion coming out and we've ramped up development. It's like not like, oh, we're expanding our customer support. It's just we want more money, and so we're gonna get more money.
Yeah.
So it's
Agreed.
it's kind of annoying because it's like something like all the other games. That's what you're paying for is their okay support.
Who are the new owners?
I don't know.
Not
Carlisle.
Carlisle.
Yeah.
Frick them. Whoever they are.
Okay.
I'm just like that toxic girl who is rude to me.
Yeah. True.
Except for they make a lot more than me, so I don't feel as bad.
But yeah. What's next?
Next question is from Matt over on Discord. So, hypothetical. The distances in OSRs increase by 5 times, including cities being increased by 5 times in size, mountain ranges, forests, etc., in order for sailing to make more sense. No new tellies are added. How would the player base react? Not well. I hate walking in this game. I personally would not react well. Tellies are the only thing that bring me joy in this world.
True.
If I had to walk everywhere in RuneScape, I don't think I would have kept playing.
Okay.
Especially with the way that agility is, like, it's just the stupidest. I wouldn't be happy. I don't think people would be as upset as me. I don't know why I really prioritize tellies, but I don't think people would be happy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the obvious answer is that no one would be happy about this, but I'm going to take the other route as per usual and say that potentially this would be cool because one, they're already hopefully reworking agility like they said they would. So hopefully that would make traversing not as annoying, even without the additional teleports. And on top of that, that would give them a metric extra boatload of room to develop new things in already existing Gilnor and not have to add new continents.
Oh, it would give more like landmass.
Yeah, because that's what World of Warcraft did. That's actually what a lot of games do, even like
They
Elder
stretch it a little
Scrolls,
bit.
is they're all like, all right, cool, well, there's this new island now. They just found it.
No one's ever sailed here before. It's crazy.
Oh, the next expansion, there's another island. Next to that one, no one saw that one either. And it's like...
Everyone had really bad eyesight.
Sick. All right. And then... yeah.
We love world building.
And then at the end of it, you're like, all right, we just got like 50 new islands. I don't even know where they come from. Then we start going
What's it called?
underwater.
Was a bunch like an archipelago?
Archipelago. Yeah, archipelago.
Archipelago.
Yeah, so
There's
it's
just
just
that.
like...
They're just like, we just have one.
They're like, oh, we found this underwater area. Like, okay, cool.
No one ever swam down
And
there
then
before.
when
I
they
don't know what to
really
tell
run out of
you.
ideas, they're like, "Yeah, we found this other planet." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So yeah, if you'll run into that,
Yeah.
eventually,
That's
like,
a fair reason for it.
because I mean, look at us. We already got Corinne. We got Varlamore.
Well, we're on a flat map, so we could just keep building.
Yeah, so kind of weird. But
Yeah.
yeah, so that would kind of ease that for a little bit if you can just like add a new city like next to Falor because there's 5 times as much room now.
True.
That
That'd
would
be
be kind
so
of
weird,
cool.
though.
But obviously, I think that would add more teleports.
It would
But
have to. The only way I'm okay with your idea, Matt, is if we add more tellies. Otherwise, no. I love tellies.
I think they would have to add like mounts and stuff like that. Like that's how WoW did a lot of their stuff.
I
And
want
then
to ride Scurrius.
like eventually, it's funny because like WoW early on was like, oh, this is too much room, so we're gonna add mounts. And they're like, all right, cool. And then they're like, oh, this is still too much room. Let's add flying mounts. And everyone's like, all right, cool. And they're like, yeah, we have like 5 different islands and universes and stuff. And
Boat
so
mounts?
now they just teleport everywhere,
Oh.
and then they take
And the
mounts.
mounts are just decorative?
No, no, they
Oh,
still
actually use.
they still
Okay.
use mounts, but it's like, oh, you want to go to this expansion? Well, you got to teleport there because it's just on the other side.
Jesus.
But yeah, so I think it would be cool potentially.
Last question is from Harger. It's kind of a twofer. In real life and OSRS question. Have you befriended someone that ended up being really annoying, but you kept being nice to them and answering them and helping them even though you didn't want to? Inspired my overkindness, leading to me doing this way too often. Yeah, I've done that in real life and in OSRS for sure. Like via the stream, there's been a few times where people come by that are not the greatest. They don't come by anymore. Like, there's no one in particular in mind, but like everyone right now is chill because I stream less, so people who come by like actually are more friends. But there's been people where it's like they just ask so many questions and stuff.
Yeah,
And it's like too much for me. Like I don't mind answering questions, but it's too much. And then I think definitely that's happened at work. Like any job that you have, you'll encounter people you don't like, but you have to like pretend to like them for weird work politics. That happens too.
yeah, no, for sure.
Yep.
I think it's different at work.
I feel like at work you have to maintain
Yeah, because
professionalism.
you have to be there.
You have to make small talk.
I was gonna say like I used to do this when I was younger. Like I wasn't like a people pleaser, but I just like didn't really like care to tell people that they were annoying and stuff like that.
I will never tell someone if they're annoying because I would hate if someone told me.
So I would just like do the thing where they would like keep talking and be like, "Oh, that's so crazy, dude."
No, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
But as I grew up, I was like, dude, I can just straight up decide to not hang out with these people.
Yeah.
And that's low key how I learned that lesson much sooner online, so I never really ran into that online. Like I had some of that early on because like when I first started playing video games on the internet, it was like Counter-Strike, and I was in like a clan, so there was a bunch of people.
Mhm.
If people were annoying, I would just mute them. Like
That's what I do too.
this was on like Ventrilo back in the day.
You know, I was talking to my coworkers yesterday about people being like mean online, and one
Yeah.
of them was like asking about Twitter, and I was like, no one's really mean to me on Twitter, and I was like, oh, actually no, I just mute everyone who's mean to me on Twitter, so
Yeah.
I'm like delusional and don't think anyone's mean to me.
Yeah, or I'll just be like, oh wow, everyone seems to be annoying today, and then I'll just like mute everyone. I'll just mute myself.
You just need the day alone.
Yeah, or I'll just like what would end up happening is I would do the equivalent of just like walking away, and I'll just go into a separate channel.
Oh
So
yeah.
that people would
you
like
do that on Discord.
Yeah, so people would be like, oh, clearly he doesn't.
He's not feeling
Yeah,
it.
he doesn't want to talk, and so I would do that. Or you know what ends up being really toxic is when people do this, but like in a sneaky way. I think it's okay to go to a different channel, even in Discord and stuff like that. But whenever you go to channels that are either locked or hidden, is when I think it's pretty toxic.
A little elitist.
It's just super toxic. Like if
Like if we were in VC and then we're like, oh, me, you, and the mods are gonna go in a different VC because we don't want to talk to everyone else.
yeah, or like Discord has hidden channels.
Yeah.
So it's like if you just went in there and like, or if you like purposely were in a channel, someone joined and then you went into the hidden channel, then that's pretty toxic.
What about, do you think about people joining the channel and like you join and someone just stops talking?
I mean that's fine. That happens all the time, honestly. Yeah,
I know
some
some
people
of that
just
happens too, and they just are convinced this person doesn't like them.
that's also true. I know plenty of people that do the same thing, and they'll just be like, oh, I don't want to talk to this person. I want to be here, but I don't want to talk to
Oh,
this
you've done that
person.
with people before. People that you
Yeah,
didn't like in your other Discord.
usually I'll just mute them.
Yeah.
But I don't even know how we got on this.
The people being your
Oh,
friends, but they're annoying. Honestly, I don't have many friends like that in real life now. It's
yeah,
just like sometimes people at work. It's not even that they're annoying. It's just like I don't really know them or we don't have anything in common. But you just talk to them because that's how it is.
yeah, yeah. I guess for a really long answer shortened, I used to do that when I was younger in real life and even younger in online, and
Mm-hmm.
then just realized I don't need to do that,
Yeah.
and so I just don't hang out with those people. Like if
Easy.
someone's annoying, I won't say they're
Don't
annoying
say they're annoying though.
because
That'll hurt people's
that's
feelings.
just like rude in my opinion, and
Yeah.
usually there's no need to be rude unless they're like clearly trying to be annoying or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. But yeah, like I guess a really good instance is like 3 or 4 years ago, actually maybe even 6 years ago now. Um, someone was like really annoying on Discord, and I just straight up did not return to that Discord for an entire year.
That'll teach them to annoy Robert.
Like I ghosted so bad, I missed like friends' weddings and stuff.
Oh
Like I
yeah.
was
You came back
uncontactable.
and people were married.
People were married. People were like on death row. Like people had like passed away and stuff. Like I just was
Several
not
people passed away.
present.
Jesus.
So yeah, that's just like how it is. Like if I don't want to be around that, I won't.
You remind me of this meme. It's like an actress from Sex and the City. She was quoted being like, "I will not spend more than 5 minutes somewhere if I'm having a bad time," or
Yeah,
something like that.
like
That's you.
the number one superpower you have as an adult is the ability to choose where you are,
I like that. That's actually really cool.
or just in general what you tolerate.
Yeah,
So
and what you eat because I talk about that sometimes about how it sucks when you're a kid and you can't eat whatever you want.
yeah, like this is actually, I mean, this like even like how this continues is like even at work there's like someone that I think isn't a good worker and is kind of annoying, and they like yap a lot. So just while they're talking, I'll just walk away. It might be slightly rude, but I like
You have to
if
work.
I don't, I just will be there for longer than I would like to.
Sometimes I'll be talking to people and I don't want to end the conversation, so I'll go over on my breaks
Yeah.
because I feel awkward leaving.
I'll
Even
just
if I like talking to them.
I'll just like slowly start walking away, and then as I get like more and more out of like earshot, I'll be like, "Yep, yep, yep." And that's it. Just so they think I'm like kind of listening.
Yeah, you're
Cuz like I don't want
funny.
to be rude, but also I'm not going to be here.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Yeah.
One more thing before we do the outro. We got some clarification on the pit question from last week.
Yes, someone
Yeah.
was throwing stuff into a pit.
Yes. So yeah, if you guys didn't hear, it was like, what if there was a pit and it was like a gold sink? And then we were confused because there was things about a dragon. So
Yes.
for clarification, they did apologize for the confusion. Not only does the hole throw random things back to you, it may also spawn random events around the map. Like for instance, the black dragon appearing in Varrock. Because
It's
they
more interesting this way.
yes, because they were just saying that they're like, yeah, there's a pit, you throw money in, and then this guy's there and he gets burned by a dragon. We're like, what? What? You of course wouldn't know about the dragon appearing since you're currently at the hole 3.2 million deep in the hole's grips. It's gorilla grip. Not unless these events were announced server wide. And yes, sadly, I am Danny 23 loses all of his gear and just spawns regularly on the map for anyone to pick up. Sometimes the hole's not about the will I won't I rewards, but about the experience.
This would be interesting. Like, I honestly low-key think this kind of is similar to how, for anyone that doesn't know, back in the day, random events could kill you in RuneScape.
Oh, it is like that, except for it's character triggered.
I think like random stuff like this would be interesting if it was like opt-in.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
Like if you're all like, oh, there's like you get double the drop rate of like the more rare stuff from random events if you allow them to be lethal.
Eh,
And then same thing for this. They're like, all right, well, you spawn random events. Some of them suck, but the cooler ones you have to opt into, but they could kill you.
yeah, make it more
Then
spicy.
I'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool, some give and take.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, if it's just like, oh, you get all the cool rewards, even if you don't opt in. Or
That's lame.
it would also suck if they're all like, oh, if you just want to chill, too bad, because there's no opt in. You just have to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that would probably be the best compromise for this whole situation. But
Yeah.
I think it's more interesting this way, for sure.
I agree. I do think it's funny that people who are being toxic would just stand at the pit throwing money in and hoping stuff spawns.
Yeah.
They're kind of goofy. But yeah, that's it for our Q&A this week.
Yeah, that was it. Thanks again, as always, for asking all of your questions. It is very much appreciated. Feel free to ask more questions in the coming weeks. We will continue to answer them as best we can. And if you also want to ask questions, feel free to. Any, like you saw, some in real life, some game questions today, you can ask them on any of our social media.
Yeah, our Twitter and TikTok are Bunebapeosrs. Our Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram are all Bunebape. I stream 4 days a week at twitch.tv/Bunebape, so come hang out with me.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
you want to check out the, I'm not sure everyone knows, so I'll just try to throw this out there every once in a while. But if you want to watch the video version of this, I know most of our listeners
most of you guys just listen.
most people listen just on Spotify. So if you want to see the video version, which is not much more interesting, but
I
if you
make
want
faces
to,
at Robert all the time, and you guys don't know about that.
yeah, then you can check us out on YouTube as well. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and we'll see you all.
Very soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.